I don't believe that it's a coincidence that this video showed up in your feed today. I think it's a sign that it's time for you to hear this. If you're miserable at your job, if you hate your job, over the next few minutes, I want you to hear me out and why I think it's time for you to walk away from it. Life is about more than just work. You are more than just your job, your title, your salary. You're a human. You have a passion and a purpose and a calling in life. And maybe you somehow lost that along the way. You lost yourself, and that's okay. But you owe it to yourself to at least like your job. Maybe not love it. No one does all the time, but at least like it, to feel appreciated, paid fairly, treated well. But no fancy title or fat paycheck is worth continuing if you're miserable. Because that misery, that hatred that you have stored for your job, if it isn't already, it will start to bleed into the rest of your life. It will be impossible to keep it and leave it at the door. It will follow you home. It will affect your personal relationships. It will start to affect your mental and physical health if it hasn't already. And once that starts, it is so very hard to stop. And it will consume you and it will destroy you. And if that sounds dramatic, there are plenty of studies that would beg to differ. It's not something to just put your head down and keep going and be a good little worker bee and muscle through. Humans aren't meant to do that. Our society is so focused around work, working harder, making more, climbing the ladder, like it's proving something to ourselves and others, when it's silly. We weren't put on this earth to work. We deserve to enjoy life. And we spend so much time working, it's like we are living to work, not working to simply live. And that's what work should be. We should make enough to get by, a little extra in case emergencies or, retirement. Be responsible. You need to save a little extra, but this concept of just working more and more to make more and more money is really skewed and not necessary. You hear interviews of people, retirees, folks that are nearing the end of their lives on their deathbed, and they're asked what some of their biggest life regrets are. And it is shocking and depressing how many people talk about work and how they wish they wouldn't have worked so hard, or they wish they wouldn't have spent so much time doing jobs they hated. Don't be one of them. It's not worth it. There's something out there so great for you. It's just waiting for you. And if you have to bounce around a few times to find it, then do it. I don't think anyone's going to be judging your resume if you bounce around, because let's be honest, right now, burnout rates are so high, turnover in companies is so high. You're not going to look much different than most folks applying for jobs right now. And there are a lot of open opportunities right now. And if that opportunity isn't right and the next one's not right, and if you just feel like, you know what, I want to just make my own path, then do it. Yeah, it's scary, it's terrifying, but it's also the most freeing, liberating, happiest you will probably be. It takes a lot of discipline. Take it from someone who's been doing it for 2 years and is making very little, but I've never been happier. It's worth the sacrifice of making less, a lot less, to be free of those handcuffs. Employers, they know they got you. They got those golden handcuffs on you from day one, and they sweeten the deal with all these benefits just enough to keep you around and to make you feel safe, like they care, that they'll take care of you. You are a name to them, a number. You are the cheapest work they can get. And I know that sounds harsh, but I honestly believe it's the truth, at least for a majority of companies. I think a barrier in people's minds, one of the many when talking about changing jobs, and rightly so, is financial stability. How are you going to make it work? And I know this is going to upset some people, but hear me out on this, okay? With the exception of some that have exceptional circumstances, I'm willing to bet that a majority of us, if we're being brutally honest, don't need as much money as we think we need. If we were to make a wants and needs column and compare, I think most of us would walk away with the understanding that, I sure do buy a lot of things I don't necessarily need. And no judgment, because we live in a society, it's one of the beautiful things about living in the world we do now is it is just so convenient. I mean, you with the click of a button, you can have something on your doorstep without ever leaving your home within a matter of hours. And okay, if it's not readily available, so you have to wait a couple days. Like, that's wild. That is wild. We can just have something so easily without thinking. And I don't even have to put my credit card information in. It's already stored in my phone. It's just click, click, boom. It's just there. And it may sound silly, but like back when things were done, like you'd go to the store, a lot of people were dealing with cash or swiping a card. Not to say that doesn't happen anymore, but it's less. And there's something mental, and they this is real. I'm not making this up. There is something mental about physically having that exchange of watching your money leave your hand, having to hand it over in exchange for goods. And when we're just mindlessly tap tap on our phone, you don't think about it. That's why impulsive purchases are just through the roof. And those add up. You say it's only $10 shirt here and a $20 subscription there and stuff, but those add up. And if you start thinking about things in terms of hours worked, that is when the mind shift really starts to happen. If you say that $20 impulse purchase that you just had to have, how long did it take you to work that off? For some, it may be a little over an hour. It could be whatever. But the point is, it adds up over time. One impulsive purchase after the next. Or, well, it was on sale and I've wanted it for a while. I deserve this. I think that's another part of our culture that has really harmed our spending habits is this, yeah, well, this ad told me that I should treat myself and I deserve it. I did have a really tough day at work. So I'm just going to order in tonight because I just don't feel like making dinner. And I'm not saying that we need to cut all spending on things that we don't need, but I think a good start is looking at what we have, what we need versus what we want, and weighing that with our happiness. Would you rather have a job that pays you less, that you like more, maybe even being your own boss and at the beginning making significantly less than you're used to, but you have enough, money to put food on the table, keep a roof over your head, clothes on your back, keep the heat on, power on, you got your mode of transportation, but when it's all said and done, like those are the big ones. Those are the absolute have to have needs. And that's all you really need. The rest is just stuff. And it's stuff that, does it even fulfill us? Does it even make us feel good? I think for a split second, if we're honest with ourselves, for a split second, when you're hitting that buy button, you get a rush. And when it gets delivered to you, you may like it and enjoy it for like a couple days, but then we're right back to it, chasing that high of that next thrill, of that next item that's going to fill that void inside us. And it's a cycle that's so hard to break once it's started. We don't even think about it. The subscriptions, the memberships, the just, there's so much that we're spending on that we really don't. So ask yourself, do I need this? Can I do without? Can I buy it secondhand? Can I learn to do this or make this myself or repair what's broken to limp it along so I don't have to just outright buy a new one? Would you start thinking differently like that when you start getting creative? Um, your mind around spending will change. And I would love for more of society to just try it. Just try it for a little bit. And I think we would realize pretty quick, with the exception of some that I know are probably watching this right now and going, you have no idea what my life is like. You have no idea the bills that I have to pay, the student debt, the credit card, the student loans, the credit card debt. Uh, I don't know your situation. I'm just saying, though, for a good number of Americans, this is a problem. We have an overconsumption, consuming problem. And I think once we accept that, we can be more honest with a budget, that will open up our eyes to the possibilities that we can have for a potentially new career. We may realize that we don't need to be making as much. We could take a lower paying job, or like I said, try our hand at running our own business for a while. What's the worst that could happen? Chances are you're not going to just end up homeless like right out of the blocks. Be smart about it, of course. I'm not saying go run out and quit your job right now today, put in those 2 weeks, but start with your budget, start with your wants and needs list. Start asking yourself, what makes you happy? What makes you come alive? What can you picture yourself doing for a living? Don't automatically think about, oh my gosh, I don't know how to make money doing that. Just have fun. Dream big. Just be a kid again, and just, what do you want to be when you grow up? Think back to that. What do you enjoy or used to enjoy but don't have time for or the desire to anymore, just because you're simply so burnt out at work? What do you miss doing? Tap into those passions and make something of it. I really honestly believe that if we put our minds to it, we can do it. I know that sounds really like Disney of me, but Your mindset can control so much. And write it down. Studies have actually shown that writing down your goals is a much better, like your success rate of actually following through go up versus just voicing them out loud. And I believe it. I've tried it myself and I can say that it actually works. Let's get back on track though. I can make a whole separate video about um, our consumption habits and overspending as a society and marketing and all of that fun stuff. But um, let's get back to your job and the importance of happiness. The opportunity for you to find a job is out there. I truly, truly believe that. No one else, though, can find that for you. It's not a sign that's going to drop from the sky, not going to land in your lap. You need to make the effort. You need to go out there. You need to hunt it down and find it. And it may take a few tries to figure out exactly what you want. And that's okay. Find what makes you tick. Stop wasting your life at a job that is soul sucking, that is nothing but making someone else rich while you make pennies. You have the power to change your future. Now take it.